Hi, I'm Adam Drake, and today I want to talk about engine storage and the importance of using an after-run oil. So I've done videos talking about engine storage and after-run oil, but just want to bring it up again, show you guys a new product that we have available, which is just the after-run oil that we've used for many, many years. But just want to bring it up, and what I have here is Rhonda's Truggy from the Dirt Nitro Challenge. Now, Rhonda doesn't run Truggy that often. She normally runs DNC, Silver State, Mugen Challenge, maybe a couple other races in between. So it spends the majority of the year sitting up on the shelf. And it's easy to come home from a race, throw your truck up on the car stand or throw it up on the shelf and forget about it. And that's when the majority of the corrosion and damage can happen, especially if you live in an area where there's a lot of moisture. We're really fortunate out here in California. It's super dry. We have pretty good weather most of the year. But even being out here in California, it can happen. The fuel, the nitromethane and methanol in the fuel, as it sits over time, it's going to just try to draw in moisture that's in the air, and that can affect or kind of attack the rear bearing of the engine and can cause problems. So then a couple months from now, we get ready to go to Silver State, fire up our truck. We just want to make sure that the engine is properly stored so that we don't have a bearing problem or any issues at the next race. Now, this is something you should probably do after every weekend. You don't always have to do it, but it's never going to hurt to go through this little process that we have to store your engine. It's just kind of a safety precaution. Your engine is super expensive, and you just want to protect your investment to make sure that it runs at its best for a really, really long time. So I pull the engine out. I go ahead and put a cap on the fuel inlet. Take a microfiber towel and I'll just kind of wipe off pressure line, air filter, high-speed needle. Just do it a really kind of quick once over or wipe down. Then I take my cleaning putty, do the same thing. Right now I'm just kind of inspecting, making sure carb boot doesn't have any little cracks, tears, or isn't kind of getting dry rotted, because over time that can dry out and get little cracks. I'll check, make sure that the carburetor moves free. From there I just remove the exhaust. And then I'll just do a really quick check, make sure that I don't see any scratching or scoring on the piston. Unless you had a runaway or some type of problem, there shouldn't be anything in there that you see, but since you have the exhaust off, it's not a bad idea or bad time just to give it a once over and check it out. Let me go ahead, adjust the camera angle, and I will show you how I use our after-run oil, where I apply the oil, and how I properly store my engine after each race. Okay, so with the engine out, exhaust removed, we just go ahead, remove the cap, make sure that the piston is at bottom dead center. Then we just take our after-run oil. You can use the Mugen assembly oil. There's all kinds of after-run oils you can use. This is a product that we've talked about and I've used for many, many years. It's an 80-20 mix of Marvel's Mystery Oil and WD-40. We have it available now through thedrakeracing.com just to make it a little bit more convenient for you guys. But basically, you'll just take and put 6 to 8 drops directly down the exhaust port, again with the piston at bottom dead center, and then I just hold the engine at a slight angle. So this is the oil's gonna drop in, hit the back of the sleeve, run down the sleeve directly into the rear bearing. From there, I'll just spend 5 or 10 seconds and just kind of rock the engine back and forth. You don't even have to completely turn it over. You're just wanting to kind of work that oil around, make sure it fully coats that rear bearing, the crankshaft, and the internals of the engine. From there, go ahead, put the cap back on. You can also remove the air filter. Be really careful when you cut that zip tie. Make sure that you don't clip or cut the air filter boot itself. I will clean the base of the filter with the cleaning putty, and then I just go ahead and I make sure to hold the throttle wide open, and then I'll put 2 additional drops down in the carburetor, work the slide back and forth, and then again hold the engine at an angle, this time at the opposite angle, but again I'm trying to coat the crankshaft and allow the oil to kind of run towards the rear bearing and towards the connecting rod. Then you'll want to go ahead, put the filter back on, make sure it's properly aligned, and then install a fresh zip tie. I don't always do the 2 drops down the filter. If I'm planning to run next weekend or in a couple weeks, I'll just do the 6 to 8 drops in the exhaust port. I'm kind of weird about I don't like really pulling the filter on and off unless I really have to, just because sometimes you don't always get everything wiped off and a little bit of dust can kind of fall down into the carburetor, which any dust or dirt inside the engine is kind of the worst thing that could happen. But this is how I properly store my engines. Again, you just want to make sure that you're coating the parts so that it can lubricate them and help dissipate any moisture that can get in the engine. From there, you can just put it back in the box and store the engine, or you can put the exhaust back on, put it back in your buggy or truck, and you're ready to go for the next race.